Hi ho there! It's Gleekon, and I'm back again bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft, a show where a dude who talks in the weirdest way possible goes over everything in the World of Warcraft universe. So we try to cover everything in-game and out-of-game. Check out the other episodes if you want to look at the long plays that I'm doing through all of Classic Era right now. We just wrapped up Tanaris. That took us a very long time, and we're about to start do some Zul'Farrak runs this week, and then move on to Searing Gorge. Also, check out the Patreon. I'll link it in the comments if you would like to look at the same project that I've been doing for the Assassin's Creed universe. Today we're going to cover a short episode. We do this every now and then, these little lore and shorts, or the Warcraft Encyclopedia that's now defunct. It's not considered canon. The era of Chronicles basically replaced everything, but it's still nice to see where it came from and what used to exist. So stay a while and listen as we do an entry on Azshara today. It does say it is a copy of the official article that doesn't exist anymore, but you can still find it in a couple sources. Previous episodes, I have shown how to find it. I think on one I even went there on the camera. It says it did not survive the overhaul of the official Warcraft universe. She is known, Azshara is AKA Cherished Heart of the People, Daughter of the Moon, Flower of Life, Flower of the Moon, Glory of our People, her glory, Light of Lights, Light of the Moon, Light of 1,000 Moons, Radiance of the Moon, Vision of Perfection. That is a lot of side names. I feel like it's almost a parody in the different types of names that you might say. Like there's there's a couple things that I think parody that concept. There's Terry Pratchett does it on some of his books. Also, there's an episode of The Office where they're doing the wedding and Dwight has to like announce the people as he comes in, and Jim keeps messing with him and makes him say his name over. Okay, here we go. Queen Azshara, stay a while and listen if I did that or not. Queen Azshara was born with golden eyes, which were quite rare in night elves before the Great Sundering. Thus, golden eyes were commonly regarded as a sign of future greatness. Indeed, Azshara became the most beloved monarch in all of night elf history. She was also the last. Her reign led to the War of the Ancients and the Sundering, after which night elf society underwent sweeping change. I don't even really know. Pretty much the leader since then has been a combo of Malfurion and Tyrande. Like, that's it for 10,000 years. There's very little, if you think about it. It's a very static power structure in the lore of the universe. In search of ultimate power, strong-willed, manipulative, and incomparably beautiful, Azshara possessed far more magical talent than almost any other night elf. As one of the Highborn and sole heir to the throne, she had long been fascinated with the Well of Eternity. After her coronation, she indulged her interests to the fullest. Soon she ordered the construction of a lavishly bejeweled palace on one of the Well's shores. Seeking to please the queen, the nobles proposed that the night elf capital city be renamed in her honor. Azshara graciously accepted, and after much heated debate, the city's name was changed to Zin Azshara, or Glory of Azshara. The night elves everywhere celebrated the city's new name, for they loved their queen as much as they distrusted the decadent Highborn. Such was her charm that her people did not truly consider her one of the Highborn. Azshara and her court took up residence in the new palace as soon as it was complete. Many of the Highborn living in the palace devoted themselves to constant study of the well. As their obsession grew, these Highborn drew magic from the well's depths at reckless speed and channeled the chaotic energies into ever greater spells. The well was thrown into constant turmoil. Dark storms broke out over its surface, and its waters darkened until they became utterly black. As we know, other things came out of that as well. Probably about to read about it. Sargeras, this section's called Dreams of Glory. Sargeras, creator of the Burning Legion, sensed the Highborn's powerful spells and reached out to contact them from the twisting nether. With little effort, he corrupted all of the Highborn in the palace, including Azshara, and bent them to his will. Quickly, they abandoned all their previous work and focused on bringing the Legion into Azeroth. The mesmerized noble's primary goal, however, was to widen and stabilize the portal leading from the twisting nether to Azeroth so that Sargeras himself could enter the world. He promised that he would remake the world into a paradise. Pinky promise. Working feverishly, the Highborn summoned demon after demon into their midst. As the storms surrounding the well grew more violent, a crowd of frightened night elves gathered outside the palace, hoping for an explanation from their queen. When the palace gates opened at last, however, a demonic army poured out and began slaughtering the citizens of Zen Azshara. Only the highborn who were serving the Legion inside the palace were left untouched. Firmly in Sargeras' thrall, the palace guards watched the massacre and made no effort to help their dying people. The queen believed that in Sargeras she had at last found a worthy mate, and she was certain that he would be hers once he arrived on Azeroth. As time passed, she grew impatient and suggested restricting the Well of Eternity so that its energies would be available only to the Legion and their highborn servants. Her chief advisor, Lord Xavius, worked with the rest of the Palace Highborn and the Legion to implement her idea, erecting a magical shield around the well. We read about him before, too, and we know what happens to old First Satyr Xavius from previous episodes. Thwarted plans. Suddenly cut off from the well, the Night Elf defenders realized that something catastrophic had happened. Refugees from Zin-Azshara brought news of the demonic invasion to Black Rook Hold, home of Lord Curtellus Ravencrest. Curtellus added the refugees who could fight to his own soldiers, and the army set out for Zin-Azshara. The War of the Ancients had broken out in earnest. With the help of several allies, the druid Malfurion Stormrage destroyed the shield and killed Xavius. Azshara made Captain Verothin her new advisor and her chief liaison with the Legion. By this time, the Legion was divided. Many of its demonic minions were out on the battlefield instead of helping to stabilize the portal into the Twisting Nether. The Queen blamed Curtellus' strong leadership of the Night Elf defenders for delaying Sargeras' arrival. She ordered Verothin to eliminate Curtellus, and Verothin obediently had the valiant noble assassinated. Rip. Alright, last part, Birth of the Naga. Despite Azshara's attempts to aid the Legion, the portal to the Twisting Nether was ultimately closed before Sargeras could reach Azeroth. Although the portal's closure saved Azeroth from demonic invasion, the Well of Eternity was unable to withstand the added magical strain, and it began to collapse in on itself. As if struck by a giant hammer, Zin-Azshara and the well were blasted downward toward the ocean floor. The well pierced the planet's molten core just before being utterly obliterated. Oh, weird. That's interesting. Ancient Kalimdor was split apart, and the seas rushed in to fill the voids between the new landmasses. The queen, her handmaidens, her guards, and quite a few other highborn in the palace were caught in the rushing waters. Instead of drowning, however, many were cursed and transformed into Naga. Was Azshara too transformed? Is there any way she could still be alive after more than 10,000 years? Such questions are almost never asked today. Few outside the Naga know the tale of Azshara, and those who do recall it presume her long dead. Regardless, the Naga have come to worship Azshara as a demigod. That can't be true anyway, because obviously Malfurion and Tyrande and their friends were there during this war, so they absolutely know of Azshara. I'm sure they've told others. Why would you not use her as a cautionary tale? You have the Highborn that fled and started their society. You have the Nightborn. So that last sentence is a little bit weak. Oakley dokley. We have one more encyclopedia entry that we will do next time. And that will catch us up with all of the lore through that leading up to the War of the Ancients, the first 10,000 years. So one more entry, and then we'll start to get a little closer and closer and closer to what we have today. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, for listening, and for tuning in, and I will see all of you on the next episode of Lore of Warcraft, this one in the pipe, 5x5.